Hi guys, back again with another video intro to this video. Today I'm going to be looking at the Xiaomi Redmi Note 9T 5G. It's a bit of a mouthful. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to call it the Note 9T. So the purpose of this video is mainly to look at the camera, what you can get, how it performs, the performance of the phone. So I'll go a little bit into the specs and then talk about all the other bits like the display and all that sort of stuff. But the main thing with this particular phone is the affordability of 5G. So spec wise, the phone comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 800U 5G processor. So that of course allows you to get 5G on a bit of a budget. You know, in a world of S21s, OnePlus 9s, all of these phones with top tier specs, allowing you to have 5G. So it's nice to see this phone here, which can get you 5G for, depending on where you look, for less than £200. Now, I can't test the 5G capabilities of this phone because unfortunately I don't live in an area where 5G coverage is large. But it's nice to know that having a 5G phone, you've got that future proofing for when 5G does become more available and more widespread. You've got a 5G phone ready. Now, of course, there are some people that aren't going to be that bothered about 5G. Obviously, this video isn't going to appeal to you. 4G speeds are still decent, don't get me wrong, but of course everything's going to be moving forward, so 5G is something that I think is worth looking at in the long run. So talking a bit on this front facing camera, so up front we have a 13 megapixel selfie camera. Video tops out at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So from what I can see, it looks pretty good. Until I play the video back, I don't know how stable it looks. I mean, from what I can see at the moment, it doesn't look too bad. And then of course, we need to wait and see what the audio pickup is also like as well. So that's my intro for the time being. I'm going to have a bit more of a deeper dive into the main camera. So once I've stopped, I'll do a load of video shots with the rear facing camera. So I'm at my usual spot again. So I'm going to take the Note 9T out just for a bit of a camera test. I'll take some video and a few photos as well. I'm going to try and do more videos like this where I shoot the whole video on the phone that I'm reviewing. So all the audio, all the video, and of course the photos all on this phone. Let me know in the comments below if this is something that you like the idea of, and I'll try and do it more often. I quite like the idea of doing it. It gives you obviously the opportunity to see for yourself what everything's like on it, video, photos, and then of course how it picks up the audio, what the quality is like, for if you want to go out and buy this phone. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments what you think of this video. That would be really appreciated. So just going to go out now and take a bit of video. Okay, so I've come in here to shade out of the wind because it was so windy that I would imagine that the audio pickup would have been absolutely dreadful. So taken a bit of video and I've done a few photos using the main lens and the macro lens. A couple of things I noticed on the main lens, which the photos I'll put up now, of this bit of the stream. When the AI mode was on and it recognised that I was taking a picture of green or water or whatever it was, the sky was completely blown out. Absolutely not what it looked like. So then if I turn the AI off and this photo come up, the sky is exactly how it looked through my eyes. So I know AI modes can be very much touch and go. Sometimes they can be good at enhancing a photo, sometimes they can be quite detrimental to the overall look of the photo. So that's what I found. And then I took a shot with the macro lens, which to be honest is expected. A 2 megapixel macro lens, like it's going to be on every other phone with the same camera, very low resolution photo. You take a picture of the same thing with the 48 megapixel resolution and just crop in, you'll probably find yourself with a much better quality photo. Okay, so this is 1080p video at 30 frames per second, much more stable than both of the other resolutions, so 4K at 30, which is what it tops out at, and then even the 1080p at 60 frames per second, it wasn't stable at all. So this is much better in terms of stabilization. Obviously you're losing the 4K quality and the smoothness of a 60 frame per second video, but I guess you have to make the choice of what would you rather have: higher quality but a bit shaky, or a nice smooth video like this but dropping the frames down a little bit. So that's just a decision that you have to make. I want to talk a little bit about the design of the Note 9T. Now, dimensions wise, it's very similar to the Redmi Note 9. Screen size is exactly the same, so we have a 6.5 inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 1080 by 2340. So that gives you a nice sharp display, 395 pixels per inch. It's not a high refresh rate display, which to be honest is not surprising at this price point. It's a plastic phone, which again is to be expected. I've got the phone in the Daybreak Purple model, they call it, but it is also available in like a grey of some sort. So you've got the purple colour on the back. It's like a textured back as well, which is quite nice, makes it a bit more grippy. And then of course in the centre, in the middle, same thing, don't know what I'm saying. In the centre of the phone at the top, you've got the triple lens setup. So there's no ultra wide camera on the Note 9T, which is a bit of a shame. So you've just got the 48 megapixel main lens, which pixel bins down to 12 megapixel images, and then you've just got your 2 megapixel macro camera and your 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now, depth sensors I don't really have much of an issue with because they seem quite handy in blurring out the backgrounds of your portrait shots. but macro lenses, I just wish phones manufacturers would just stop putting them on these phones. I would rather this phone just be a dual camera setup with a 48 megapixel main sensor and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, because I just think these macro cameras are just so rubbish. I just think, what's the point in putting them on there? I'd rather they swapped out that 2 megapixel macro camera for even just a 5 megapixel ultra wide or something. But you know, they're going to keep doing it. They're low cost, and it makes the consumer think they're getting more than they are really. That's handy. Okay, so I'm at the end of this little video. I apologise for kind of blabbering on a little bit. I tend to do that quite a lot. As I bring out more videos, I'm going to try and hope to get to the point quicker, and not rabbit on about random shit that no one wants to listen to. The way that I do my videos, I'm trying to get across to the average user of smartphones, because that's what I am. Although I'm making these videos for you guys to hopefully learn something from, I am just an average user. I'm not heavy into any multitasking or anything like that. So in terms of this phone here, it's really good. The performance is great from the MediaTek chip. The camera is decent. Video, obviously you can judge for yourself what you think of the video. I'll chuck a few photos at the end for you to have a look at as well. I'm overall pretty impressed, and the fact that it comes with 5G for less than £200 is good. So for when 5G becomes more covered in like my area, you know, for example, there is that future proofing in terms of 5G. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and if you've watched a decent portion of this video, I do really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you like more content like this for an average user, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when I make a new video. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.